Hello again, 8th graders. It is week 9 already. We're on our first lesson for the week. We're on textbook page 366, topic 7, lesson 3. Let's begin. All right, it's a normal day for us in the neighborhood, so we're going to start off with a quiz as per usual. What surface current brings warm water up to northern Europe? So we're going to use this map on the page to help us. And if you don't know where Northern Europe is, I have circled it in yellow, or as my 2-year-old nephew says, lalo. So I'm wondering what surface current brings warm water to the area that's circled in yellow, which is Northern Europe. Is it A, the Labrador current? I just circled that for you in black, so take a peek where it is. It's the blue arrow. Is it B, the Gulf Stream? Just circled that for you also in black, so take a peek where the Gulf Stream is. Is it near Europe? C, the Crush Current. I cannot take a picture of that because it's not on my map. Or D, the North Atlantic Drift. So I just circled that for you in black as well. So take a few seconds. What do you think? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to eliminate Crush Current because it's not on the map, and also I made it up, so it doesn't exist. I'm also going to get rid of the Labrador Current because that is in a blue arrow, and if I look in the key on the map, blue arrow represents a cold current, and the question is asking me for warm water. So a cold current is going to bring cold water, not warm water. So what do you think the answer is? The North Atlantic Drift. The reason why it's not the Gulf Stream is because the Gulf Stream is going to bring warm water up to North America, not Europe. But ironically, it's kind of like the same current. It's just when it starts off, it's called the Gulf Stream. When it crosses the Atlantic, now it's known as the North Atlantic Drift. Okay, I just want to review some stuff to make sure we're all on the same page because I just feel like we haven't talked in a while, but I guess it's the same amount of time. I don't know, it just feels different. Okay, so just to review, climate is the average weather of an area over a long period of time. Weather is in a much shorter time frame. Surface currents have a huge effect on climate. So an example of this is England versus Russia and Canada. Even though these three countries are on very similar lines of latitude, England has less snow and more rain because it's located on the North Atlantic Drift. So that's a good example of how surface currents can change the climate. And we're also going to see that changes in wind patterns and currents can have a big impact on weather conditions. So I might use climate, I might use weather, but now you know the difference. Climate is overall, weather is going to be a short period of time. We are going to talk about today El Niño, and I feel incredibly embarrassed to pronounce that because majority of you are Spanish speakers, and I always get nervous when I speak a new language. So please, if I'm butchering it, let me know. And I got a picture of 2 kids. One kid is in the sun, the girl is in the sun, and the boy is in the rain. And we're talking about Nino here, so I think we're going to see that El Nino causes rain. Okay, so let's talk about what El Nino is. So El Nino is a climate event that happens every 2 to 7 years. So it's a climate event because it keeps occurring, and remember, climate is when we study the weather over a very long period of time. But because it occurs, it's also going to change the weather, which is, during a short period of time, like days, weeks, or months. So it affects the weather, but we call it a climate event because it keeps happening. Okay, it occurs in the Pacific Ocean, so here is a map of the Pacific Ocean. I personally have never been to the Pacific Ocean because it's really on the opposite side of where we are located in Buffalo, New York. I would love to go to the Pacific Ocean. I'm hoping to go to Hawaii one day, or Australia. There's lots of places I want to go. So I hope to see the Pacific Ocean. I hope you get a chance to see it too. And the weather conditions for El Nino can last 1 to 2 years. So that's a pretty long time for weather. So let's look at a normal day normal conditions in the Pacific Ocean. So what do you see in this map? Well, we're going to see that winds are going to blow east to west. So I always need my compass so I know where I'm looking. And here is Mr. Wind, and he is blowing warm water from east to west, from South America to Australia. So you can see that represented, the warm water, with the red arrows. Okay, so Australia is getting warm water. In South America, it looks like has some blue spots, so that's probably cold water. And this is normal conditions. But during El Nino, something changes. The winds will reverse directions, or go the opposite directions, and they will become less strong. So here we are during El Nino. We're looking at the map again. Okay, and we're going to see that the wind is not blowing east to west. It's now blowing west to east. So this results in warm tropical water reaching South America, and it also stops that cold water from reaching the surface on the west coast of South America. So I'm going to pull up our old map. Here are normal conditions, and you can see that there is some upwelling of cold water on the west coast of South America. But so here we go in yellow. But if I switch back to the map, during El Nino, that doesn't happen. Okay, so what are results of this change in this reversal of wind patterns? Well, it's going to cause changes in normal weather patterns. That makes sense. And in the past, it has made some really wacky weather, like snow in California and flooding in Texas. And ironically, it can also cause dry weather in parts of the world. So it really depends where you're located in the world, whether you're going to get rain from El Nino, snow from El Nino, or like it's going to be super hot and dry because of El Nino. The strongest El Nino on record took place in 2015 and 2016. So it seems like El Nino is becoming more of a big deal, or more of an impact as climate change worsens. So it's another reason to really think about how we as a society can prevent climate change, because it's making all of our weather more dramatic. And you don't want to be in a place that has major storms or major flooding or even really major snowstorms, because you guys know in Buffalo that's not a lot of fun. Okay, guys, so we're going to stop for El Nino today, and my question for you is, which is a result of El Nino? So which of the following conditions is caused by or is a consequence of El Nino? Is it A, winds reverse the direction they blow in the Pacific Ocean? B, warm water reaches the west coast of South America? C, cold water doesn't reach the surface on the west coast of South America? Or D, all of the above? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm not going to eliminate anything because the correct answer is all of the above. During El Nino, instead of blowing east to west, the winds start blowing west to east. Warm water will blow into South America, and that warm water will stop the cold water from reaching the surface on the west coast of South America. Okay, guys, that is it for today. Be good, be healthy, and I will see you back here tomorrow.